Joining us on the phone right now to talk about the impact of this deal is Helane Becker. She's an analyst for Jesup and Lamont Securities. Helane, good for you to join us ahead of this press conference. And by the way, what do you expect to hear? What do you want to hear from this presser?
Oh, we just had the analyst conference call with the management team. And, I mean, basically, they said everything you would expect them to say. Lots of revenue synergies, lots of cost benefits. It's $1.1 billion, $1.2 billion in the first year, which is 2013. Not a lot of frontline employees getting laid off. Best of both companies, you know, big best practices thing. The biggest cost is going to be combining the technology, the IT of both companies, but the rest of it, the revenue benefits are there. You know, I think everything that they said all the right things in terms of getting this deal, you know, done.
Right. And is it going to get it done, though, through the regulators?
You know, that's a great question. That question always comes up. And the answer is probably. I would say there's a better than 90% chance it does get through. And the reason being, they've just come through the antitrust immunity issue to get Continental into the Star Alliance in October of last year. So they've kind of been working on this for 2 years. They've pressed the regulators. There's absolutely no international overlap. I think in the domestic market, there's only 1 or 2 markets where they actually have overlap. The rest, it's a perfect complementary merger, very back-to-back.
Helane, I'm curious to get your take on the management structure. I believe Smisek is going to be running this combined company. Is that what you would want? Tell me how you feel about that.
Yeah, you know, this was a big issue 2 years ago, who was going to run the company. And, of course, with Jeff having taken over Continental just, 4 short months ago, the timing is really right now, and right for a whole lot of reasons. So Glenn will be non-executive chairman, and then Jeff will be CEO.
Right.
He's really terrific at what he does. He's been, it's not like he hasn't run an airline. He's been doing it for, the past 10 or so years at Continental. So it's just Continental on a bigger scale.
For the customers, I mean, I'm just curious myself, what is that going to mean for those who fly both of those airlines? Are we going to see any type of cost savings from these two mergers, or from this merger?
That's a really good question. From your standpoint, the customer standpoint, nothing will really change if you're, you know, the frequent flyer programs will be merged, number one, and they'll take best practices from both, because I personally think Continental has a slightly better program than United. But the other thing I think you'll see in terms of, the customer facing is the folks who deliver the service, nothing really changes for them. They shouldn't be unhappy, other than the fact that, you know, over the long term of their careers, they have many more opportunities. I think they said 370 worldwide destinations.
Right.
So as you gain seniority, you get a lot of really terrific places to fly.
Okay. And Helane, consolidation, a lot of people talk about that time and again. Whenever the airline industry gets in trouble, you talk about consolidation. Is this really going to spark more mergers between perhaps smaller airlines?
You know, that's got to be the next step. I think Continental and United are doing this because Delta Northwest has proven that it can be done, and it can be done well. One of the big issues has been that Continental over the last 6 months has been losing market share to Delta in the New York market, which, as you well know, is one of the most important markets in the United States.
Right.
So if that wasn't working, they wouldn't do this. And in terms of smaller airlines, we fully expect that there's got to be consolidation among those regional airlines. There are just too many 50, 70, and 90 passenger planes flying around. So the one-word answer to your question is yes, absolutely, in the smaller group.